Hi, my name is Matthew Woods. I'm a subscriber to Reggie Collects, and I'm giving a tour of my dedicated space to comics. I call this my comic book room. I'm going to talk about where I store my comics, the setup I have, things that I want to improve with this room, and there's quite a bit that I want to improve. Lighting being one of them. There's one light in this room, but what this room is the gentleman who built this house in 1952. I met him whenever I bought this house. This was an attic. He used this space. It's in the top floor. He never finished this room. He put up 1950s drywall. In fact, he nailed the drywall to the wall. At one point in his house history, the roof did leak, and that's something that's just never been fixed, painted over. Eventually, we'll get to that. There's also only one window in this room, so I was able to cover up the windows so that I could display my comics. Now, as a comic book collector, one of the things that bothered me for years, I could never ever show off any of my comics that I bought. I would buy my collection, whatever my pull list was or whatever key issues I was searching for, and I just filed them in long boxes. Because I covered up the windows and now there's no light coming into my comics, I can now display certain covers and certain CGCs without any fear of the covers bleaching. Now, let me give you a tour. Right here, this is an old dresser that I bought from a yard sale. I keep some trades on it and some action figures. I do have a drawer where I keep some of the bags and boards that I use in order to catalog them. This right here is a cabinet that I built. My son Spencer and we built this cabinet so that I could display some of these comics. And what we did was we took plexiglass, put plexiglass in the front. This way we could display comics. Actually, this comic, my son always brags to me, is the oldest comic book in the room. He owns it. He bought it with his money that he earned from doing chores. But because of this, we were able to look at comics. If I am cataloging, if I'm putting any comics away, it's so easy for me to just open up a drawer and put them right in there. But this, eventually, I'm going to want to build more of. This was the first one. There's some things I could do to improve it. Here's some of our action figures that we have. I like to call them statues. Sounds a little bit more formal. Anyhow, here's some CGCs that I can now display because I have the windows covered up. That's an old sword that I was in Japan for the Air Force years ago. I ended up buying that and mailing it home for my son. But here's some key issues. I'm a big Conan the Barbarian fan, as you can kind of see by looking at my collection. There's some other key issues here. Black and white Spawn #1. This Darth Vader statue, my son is a giant Darth Vader Star Wars fan. Well, Tina from Reggie Collects, a subscriber, she sent this awesome AOK to my son. He loves it. It's his pride and joy. Whenever he has friends over the house, he's always bringing them over and showing them this statue that Tina had sent him. All right. Now, some things that I can improve in this room. I definitely want to finish the drywall off. I want to put a new floor down. I want to get my CGCs off of the long boxes, and I want to display them up on a wall here. But because of the angle of the wall, I got to figure out a way that I can mount them safely without damaging the case. And eventually I want to get rid of all the long boxes. I want to get rid of the long boxes, and I want to build enough drawers that I can store my entire collection. I think I have a little over 7,100 comics right now, and that number keeps growing. But I like being able to come in here, look. It's a lot easier to find an issue that I'm looking for, and it's also a lot easier to put away some of the comics that I had. I want to thank Reggie for giving me a chance to show off my dedicated comic book space, and thanks to all the Gibbon gang for watching. Thank you.